Psalms 34 through 61 of the Holy Bible, American Standard Version. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Psalm 34, a psalm of David, when he changed his behavior before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. I will bless Jehovah at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in Jehovah. The meek shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify Jehovah with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought Jehovah, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were radiant, and their faces shall never be confounded. This poor man cried, and Jehovah heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of Jehovah encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that Jehovah is good. Blessed is the man that taketh refuge in him. O fear Jehovah, ye his saints. For there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek Jehovah shall not want any good thing. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Jehovah. What man is he that desireth life, and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil, and do good. Seek peace, and pursue it. The eyes of Jehovah are toward the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of Jehovah is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cried, and Jehovah heard, and delivered them out of all their troubles. Jehovah is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as are of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jehovah delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be condemned. Jehovah redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that take refuge in him shall be condemned. End of Psalm 34. Psalm 35, a psalm of David. Strive thou, O Jehovah, with them that strive with me. Fight thou against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for my help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that pursue me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be put to shame and brought to dishonor that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and confounded that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and the angel of Jehovah driving them on. Let their way be dark and slippery, and the angel of Jehovah pursuing them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit. Without cause have they digged a pit for my soul. Let destruction come upon him unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. With destruction let him fall therein. And my soul shall be joyful in Jehovah, it shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Jehovah, who is like unto thee, who deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that robbeth him. Unrighteous witnesses rise up. They ask me of things that I know not. They reward me evil for good, to the bereaving of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I afflicted my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though it had been my friend or my brother. I bowed down mourning as one that bewaileth his mother. But in mine adversity they rejoiced, and gathered themselves together. The abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me, and ceased not. Like the profane mockers in feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destructions, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great assembly. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful words against them that are quiet in the land. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me. They said, Aha, aha, our eye hath seen it. Thou hast seen it, O Jehovah, keep not silence. O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself, and awake to the justice due unto me, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. Judge me, O Jehovah my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their heart, Aha, so would we have it. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be put to shame and confounded together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, Jehovah be magnified, who hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall talk of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. End of Psalm 35. Psalm 36, for the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of Jehovah. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, There is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, that his iniquity will not be found out and be hated. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath ceased to be wise and to do good. He deviseth iniquity upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy loving kindness, O Jehovah, is in the heavens. Thy faithfulness reacheth unto the skies. Thy righteousness is like the mountains of God. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Jehovah, thou preservest man and beast. How precious is thy loving kindness, O God! And the children of men take refuge under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou wilt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked drive me away. There are the workers of iniquity fallen, they are thrust down, and shall not be able to rise. End of Psalm 36. Psalm 37, a psalm of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against them that work unrighteousness, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in Jehovah and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight thyself also in Jehovah, and he will give thee the desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto Jehovah. Trust also in him, and he will bring it to pass. And he will make thy righteousness to go forth as the light, and thy justice as the noonday. Rest in Jehovah, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself, it tendeth only to evil-doing. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait for Jehovah, they shall inherit the land. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and he shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the land, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord will laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, to slay such as are upright in the way. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Better is a little that the righteous hath, than the abundance of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Jehovah upholdeth the righteous. Jehovah knoweth the days of the perfect, and their inheritance shall be for ever. They shall not be put to shame in the time of evil, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Jehovah shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, in smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth, and payeth not again, but the righteous dealeth graciously and giveth. For such as are blessed of him shall inherit the land, and they that are cursed of him shall be cut off. A man's goings are established of Jehovah, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for Jehovah upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. All the day long he dealeth graciously and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell for evermore. For Jehovah loveth justice, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved for ever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein for ever. The mouth of the righteous talketh of wisdom, and his tongue speaketh justice. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. Jehovah will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait for Jehovah, and keep his way, and he will exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green tree in its native soil. But one passed by, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for there is a happy end to the man of peace. As for transgressors, they shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of Jehovah. He is their stronghold in the time of trouble. And Jehovah helpeth them, and rescueth them. He rescueth them from the wicked, and saveth them, because they have taken refuge in him. End of Psalm 37. Psalm 38. A Psalm of David, to bring to remembrance. O Jehovah, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. For thine arrows stick fast in me, and thy hand presseth me sore. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine indignation, neither is there any health in my bones because of my sin. For mine iniquities are gone over my head. As a heavy burden they are too heavy for me. My wounds are loathsome and corrupt because of my foolishness. I am pained and bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long. For my loins are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am faint and sore bruised. I have groaned by reason of the disquietness of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee. My heart throbbeth, my strength faileth me. As for the light of mine eyes, it also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my plague, and my kinsmen stand afar off. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things, and meditate deceits all the day long. But I as a deaf man hear not, and I am as a dumb man that openeth not his mouth. Yea, I am as a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproofs. For in thee, O Jehovah, do I hope. Thou wilt answer, O Lord my God. For I said, lest they rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves against me. For I am ready to fall, and my sorrow is continually before me. For I will declare mine iniquity, I will be sorry for my sin. But mine enemies are lively and are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are adversaries unto me, because I follow the thing that is good. Forsake me not, O Jehovah. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. End of Psalm 38. Psalm 39, for the chief musician, for Jeduthun, a psalm of David. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence, I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me, while I was musing the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue, Jehovah, make me to know mine end, and the measure of my days, what it is. Let me know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing before thee. Surely every man at his best estate is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thy hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Jehovah, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears. For I am a stranger with thee, a sojourner as all my fathers were. O spare me, that I may recover strength, before I go hence and be no more. End of Psalm 39. Psalm 40, for the chief musician, a psalm of David. I waited patiently for Jehovah, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and he set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. And he hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in Jehovah. Blessed is the man that maketh Jehovah his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Jehovah my God, are the wonderful works which thou hast done, and thy thoughts which are to usward. They cannot be set in order unto thee. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering thou hast no delight in. Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offering and sin offering hast thou not required. Then said I, Lo, I am come. In the roll of the book it is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. I have proclaimed glad tidings of righteousness in the great assembly. Lo, I will not refrain my lips. O Jehovah, thou knowest. I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great assembly. Withhold not thou thy tender mercies from me, O Jehovah. Let thy loving kindness and thy truth continually preserve me. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. Mine iniquities have overtaken me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head, and my heart hath failed me. Be pleased, O Jehovah, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Jehovah. Let them be put to shame and confounded together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be turned backward and brought to dishonor that delight in my hurt. Let them be desolate by reason of their shame that say unto me, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice, and be glad in thee. Let such as love thy salvation say continually, Jehovah be magnified. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinketh upon me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, O my God. End of Psalm 40. Psalm 41, for the chief musician, a psalm of David. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. Jehovah will deliver him in the day of evil. Jehovah will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. And deliver not thou him unto the will of his enemies. Jehovah will support him upon the couch of languishing. Thou makest all his bed in his sickness. I said, O Jehovah, have mercy upon me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. Mine enemies speak evil against me, saying, When will he die, and his name perish? And if he come to see me, he speaketh falsehood. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it. All that hate me whisper together against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. An evil disease, say they, cleaveth fast unto him. And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more. Yea, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, who did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Jehovah, have mercy upon me, and raise me up, that I may requite them. By this I know that thou delightest in me, because mine enemy doth not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be Jehovah, the God of Israel, from everlasting and to everlasting. Amen and Amen. End of Psalm 41. Psalm 42, for the chief musician, Maskil of the sons of Korah. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? These things I remember, and pour out my soul within me. How I went with the throng, and led them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, a multitude keeping holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore do I remember thee from the land of the Jordan, and the Hermons from the hill Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterfalls. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet Jehovah will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, even a prayer unto the God of my life. I will say unto God my rock, Why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, mine adversaries reproach me, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the help of my countenance and my God. End of Psalm 42. Psalm 43. Judge me, O God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. For thou art the God of my strength. Why hast thou cast me off? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? O send out thy light and thy truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me unto thy holy hill, and to thy tabernacles. Then will I go unto the altar of God, unto God my exceeding joy. And upon the harp will I praise thee, O God, my God. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the help of my countenance and my God. End of Psalm 43. Psalm 44, for the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah, Maskil. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the days of old. Thou didst drive out the nations with thy hand, but them thou didst plant. Thou didst afflict the peoples, but them thou didst spread abroad. For they gat not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand, and thine arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou wast favorable unto them. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our adversaries. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our adversaries, and hast put them to shame that hate us. In God have we made our boast all the day long, and we will give thanks unto thy name forever. Selah. But now thou hast cast us off, and brought us to dishonor, and goest not forth with our hosts. Thou makest us to turn back from the adversary, and they that hate us take spoil for themselves. Thou hast made us like sheep appointed for food, and hast scattered us among the nations. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and hast not increased thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scoffing and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the nations, a shaking of the head among the peoples. All the day long is my dishonor before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me, for the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by reason of the enemy and the avenger. All this is come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way, that thou hast sore broken us in the place of jackals, and covered us with the shadow of death. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or spread forth our hands to a strange god, will not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and forgettest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our body cleaveth unto the earth. Rise up for our help, and redeem us for thy loving kindness' sake. End of Psalm 44. Psalm 45. For the chief musician, set to Shoshanim, a psalm of the sons of Korah, Maskil, a song of loves. My heart overfloweth with a goodly matter. I speak the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O mighty one, thy glory and thy majesty. And in thy majesty ride on prosperously, because of truth and meekness and righteousness, and thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp, the peoples fall under thee, they are in the heart of the king's enemies. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of equity is the scepter of thy kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia. Out of ivory palaces stringed instruments have made thee glad. King's daughters are among thy honorable women. At thy right hand doth stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So will the king desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and reverence thou him. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. The rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughter within the palace is all glorious. Her clothing is inwrought with gold. she shall be led unto the king in broidered work. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. With gladness and rejoicing shall they be led. They shall enter into the king's palace. Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, whom thou shalt make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the peoples give thee thanks for ever and ever. End of Psalm 45. Psalm 46, for the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah, set to Alamoth, a song. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will we not fear, though the earth do change, and though the mountains be shaken into the heart of the seas, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains tremble with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God will help her, and that right early. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Jehovah of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of Jehovah, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariots in the fire. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Jehovah of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. End of Psalm 46. Psalm 47, for the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah. O clap your hands, all ye peoples, shout unto God with the voice of triumph. For Jehovah Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He subdueth peoples under us, and nations under our feet. He chooseth our inheritance for us, the glory of Jacob whom he loved. Selah. God is gone up with a shout, Jehovah with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises unto our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praises with understanding. God reigneth over the nations. God sitteth upon his holy throne. The princes of the peoples are gathered together to be the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. End of Psalm 47. Psalm 48, a song, a psalm of the sons of Korah. Great is Jehovah, and greatly to be praised, in the city of our God, in his holy mountain. Beautiful in elevation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, on the sides of the north, the city of the great King. God hath made himself known in her palaces for a refuge. For lo, the kings assembled themselves, they passed by together. They saw it, then were they amazed. They were dismayed, they hasted away. Trembling took hold of them there, pain as of a woman in travail. With the east wind thou breakest the ships of Tarshish. As we have heard, so have we seen. In the city of Jehovah of hosts, in the city of our God, God will establish it forever. Selah. We have thought on thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. As is thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion be glad, let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion, and go round about her, number the towers thereof. Mark ye well her bulwarks, consider her palaces, that ye may tell it to the generation following. For this God is our God for ever and ever. He will be our guide even unto death. End of Psalm 48. Psalm 49. For the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah. Hear this, all ye peoples, give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline mine ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when iniquity at my heels compasseth me about? They that trust in their wealth, and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their life is costly, and it faileth for ever. That he should still live alway, that he should not see corruption. For he shall see it. Wise men die, the fool and the brutish alike perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. But man, being in honor, abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet after them men approve their sayings. Selah. They are appointed as a flock for Sheol. Death shall be their shepherd, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning. And their beauty shall be for Sheol to consume, that there be no habitation for it. But God will redeem my soul from the power of Sheol, for he will receive me. Selah. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lived he blessed his soul, and men praise thee when thou doest well to thyself, he shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see the light. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. End of Psalm 49. Psalm 50. A psalm of Asaph. The Mighty One, God, Jehovah, hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined forth. Our God cometh, and doth not keep silence. A fire devoureth before him, and it is very tempestuous round about him. He calleth to the heavens above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak. O Israel, and I will testify unto thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices. And thy burnt offerings are continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto God the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, and that thou hast taken my covenant in thy mouth, seeing that thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? When thou sawest a thief, thou consentedst with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth the sacrifice of thanksgiving glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his way aright will I show the salvation of God. End of Psalm 50. Psalm 51, for the chief musician, a psalm of David, when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone in to Bathsheba. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness. According to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only, have I sinned, and done that which is evil in thy sight, that thou mayest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou wilt make me to know wisdom. Purify me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with a willing spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, thou God of my salvation. And my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou delightest not in sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou hast no pleasure in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart, O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then wilt thou delight in the sacrifices of righteousness, in burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then will they offer bullocks upon thine altar. End of Psalm 51. Psalm 52, for the chief musician, Maskil of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul, and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The loving kindness of God endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth very wickedness, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God will likewise destroy thee forever. He will take thee up and pluck thee out of thy tent, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see it and fear, and shall laugh at him, saying, Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But as for me, I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the loving kindness of God forever and ever. I will give thee thanks forever, because thou hast done it. And I will hope in thy name, for it is good in the presence of thy saints. End of Psalm 52. Psalm 53, for the chief musician, set to Mahalath, Maskil of David. The fool hath said in his heart, There is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek after God. Every one of them is gone back. They are together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon God? There were they in great fear, where no fear was, for God hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because God hath rejected them. O that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion! When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, then shall Jacob rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. End of Psalm 53. Psalm 54, for the chief musician, on stringed instruments, Maskil of David, when the Ziphites came and said to Saul, Doth not David hide himself with us? Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me in thy might. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and violent men have sought after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is of them that uphold my soul. He will requite the evil unto mine enemies. Destroy thou them in thy truth. With a freewill offering will I sacrifice unto thee. I will give thanks unto thy name, O Jehovah, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen my desire upon mine enemies. End of Psalm 54. Psalm 55, for the chief musician, on stringed instruments, Maskil of David. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me and answer me. I am restless in my complaint, and moan because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in anger they persecute me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, O that I had wings like a dove, then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off, I would lodge in the wilderness. Selah. I would haste me to a shelter from the stormy wind and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongue, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Iniquity also and mischief are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Oppression and guile depart not from its streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my companion, and my familiar friend. We took sweet counsel together. We walked in the house of God with the throng. Let death come suddenly upon them. Let them go down alive into Sheol, for wickedness is in their dwelling, in the midst of them. As for me, I will call upon God, and Jehovah will save me. Evening and morning and at noonday will I complain and moan, and he will hear my voice. He hath redeemed my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. For they were many that strove with me. God will hear and answer them, even he that abideth of old. Selah. The men who have no changes, and who fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as were at peace with him. He hath profaned his covenant. His mouth was smooth as butter, but his heart was war. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon Jehovah, and he will sustain thee. He will never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, wilt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloodthirsty and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. End of Psalm 55. Psalm 56. For the chief musician, set to Jonath-Elam Rechokim, a psalm of David, Michtam, when the Philistines took him in Gath. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. All the day long he fighting oppresseth me. Mine enemies would swallow me up all the day long, for they are many that fight proudly against me. What time I am afraid, I will put my trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid. What can flesh do unto me? All the day long they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps, even as they have waited for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In anger cast down the peoples, O God. Thou numberest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? Then shall mine enemies turn back in the day that I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God I will praise his word. In Jehovah I will praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid. What can man do unto me? Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render thank offerings unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Hast thou not delivered my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living? End of Psalm 56. Psalm 57. For the chief musician, set to Altasheth, a psalm of David, Michtam, when he fled from Saul in the cave. Be merciful unto me, O God, be merciful unto me, for my soul taketh refuge in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I take refuge, until these calamities be overpast. I will cry unto God most high, unto God that performeth all things for me. He will send from heaven and save me, when he that would swallow me up reproacheth. Selah. God will send forth his loving kindness and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lie among them that are set on fire, even the sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue a sharp sword. Be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me. They are fallen into the midst thereof themselves. Selah. My heart is fixed, O God, my heart is fixed. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises. Awake up, my glory, awake, psaltery and harp. I myself will awake right early. I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises unto thee among the nations. For thy loving kindness is great unto the heavens, and thy truth unto the skies. Be thou exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let thy glory be above all the earth. End of Psalm 57. Psalm 58. For the chief musician, set to Al-Tasheth, a psalm of David. Miktam. Do ye indeed in silence speak righteousness? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Nay, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh out the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which hearkeneth not to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Jehovah. Let them melt away as water that runneth apace. When he aimeth his arrows, let them be as though they were cut off. Let them be as a snail which melteth and passeth away, like the untimely birth of a woman that hath not seen the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he will take them away with a whirlwind, the green and the burning alike. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that men shall say, Verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily there is a God that judgeth in the earth. End of Psalm 58. Psalm 59. For the chief musician, set to Al-Tasheth, a psalm of David. Miktam. When Saul sent, and they watched the house to kill him. Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God. Set me on high from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from the bloodthirsty men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty gather themselves together against me. Not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Jehovah. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake thou to help me, and behold. Even thou, O Jehovah, God of hosts, the God of Israel, arise to visit all the nations. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Selah. They return at evening, they howl like a dog, and go round about the city. Behold, they belch out with their mouth, swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear? But thou, O Jehovah, wilt laugh at them. Thou wilt have all the nations in derision. Because of his strength I will give heed unto thee, for God is my high tower. My God with his loving kindness will meet me. God will let me see my desire upon mine enemies. Slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power, and bring them down, O Lord, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying which they speak. Consume them in wrath, consume them, so that they shall be no more, and let them know that God ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Selah. And at evening let them return, let them howl like a dog, and go round about the city. They shall wander up and down for food, and tarry all night, if they be not satisfied. But I will sing of thy strength. Yea, I will sing aloud of thy loving kindness in the morning. For thou hast been my high tower, and a refuge in the day of my distress. Unto thee, O my strength, will I sing praises. For God is my high tower, the God of my mercy. End of Psalm 59. Psalm 60, for the chief musician, set to Shushan-Edith, Michtam of David, to teach, when he strove with Aram-Naharaim and with Aram-Zobah, and Joab returned and smote of Edom in the valley of Salt 12,000. O God, thou hast cast us off, thou hast broken us down, thou hast been angry, O restore us again. Thou hast made the land to tremble, thou hast rent it. Heal the breaches thereof, for it shaketh. Thou hast showed thy people hard things. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of staggering. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Selah. That thy beloved may be delivered. Save with thy right hand, and answer us. God hath spoken in his holiness. I will exult. I will divide Shechem, and mete out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the defense of my head. Judah is my scepter. Moab is my washpot. Upon Edom will I cast my shoe. Philistia, shout thou because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who hath led me unto Edom? Hast not thou, O God, cast us off? And thou goest not forth, O God, with our hosts. Give us help against the adversary, for vain is the help of man. Through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that will tread down our adversaries. End of Psalm 60. Psalm 61, for the chief musician on a stringed instrument. A psalm of David. Hear my cry, O God, attend unto my prayer. From the end of the earth will I call unto thee, when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a refuge for me, a strong tower from the enemy. I will dwell in thy tabernacle forever. I will take refuge in the covert of thy wings. Selah. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Thou wilt prolong the king's life. His years shall be as many generations. He shall abide before God forever. O prepare loving kindness and truth, that they may preserve him. So will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. End of Psalm 61.